On the campus art collection, there are over 45 pieces of public sculpture.
Public art is accessible to anyone at the University of Arizona campus, says Beth Hancock, the public art coordinator at the University of Arizona Museum of Art. But she says not everyone takes the time to notice the artistic quality of the work and the diversity of the collection.
There are figurative works. An example of that would be Woman with Hands on Her Face, right outside here at the museum, where it's a very bronze figurative work. There are abstract pieces. An example of those would be the Athena Taka piece there at the end of the mall near Campbell Avenue. The oldest piece of public art on campus is a cement veneer screen that is in front of the admin building, which is now where the Alumni Plaza is. It was done in 1966 by Charles Clement. It looks like an architectural feature in front of the admin building.
Hancock emphasizes that some sculptures can be appreciated for their formal, abstract qualities, while others have a message to impart.
Many of the works at the Student Union do have a memorial sort of basis to them. An artist named Susan Gamble did another USS Arizona memorial that's outside the Student Union, and it has a look of a mast of a ship, and hanging from it are dog tags representing every person that was on the USS Arizona, both deceased and survivors.
The newest permanent sculpture in the collection asks its viewers to reflect on a different topic.
Many of our pieces on campus touch on various themes and talk about social issues. One piece is called Border Dynamics. It was here temporarily during a border conference, and it was displayed on the mall back in sort of the early 2000s. And everyone loved it and felt it was a really important piece and should be added to our collection. And so it was a whole campus-wide collaborative effort to bring that piece here permanently. It's located over at Harville, and its location now is based solely on the fact that we needed a very large space for people to enjoy the work of art, be able to walk around it.
Hancock explains how the location of public art can alter how it is interpreted.
Hudson Bay is a great gem here on campus. It used to be placed in front of Harville. People thought it was a kiosk. We were constantly taking flyers off of it. We were taking stickers off of it. It was sort of a daily activity. So about 5 years ago, we decided that it needed to be restored, it needed to be moved, and so we moved it here to the Fine Arts Complex, so it has a much more traditional sculpture, fine art kind of feeling to it. But the funny kind of footnote to that story is that it was over on the cement for so long that there's stained rectangles on the concrete that you can still see, and the plaque is still embedded in the sidewalk there.
How the viewer moves around the piece can also alter how it is perceived.
I really like the Athena Taka piece, but I think people often kind of misunderstand it sometimes too. It's a gateway into the campus. It's so large in scale that when you walk up to it, people have often kind of almost gotten a vertigo sort of sense from it because they kind of walk through it and it feels like it's moving. The color change is almost more intense if you get out of the car when you're on campus and actually walk up to it. I believe the value of public art is that you can interact with it. Almost any public art collection you see, whether you're talking about the University of Arizona campus, the city of Tucson, has a lot of diversity in it, and I think it should, because one of the main proponents of public art is that people interact with it. I mean, that's part of being in the public. And what that can mean is, like I said, it can mean something very functional or it can mean something really pretty. And I think it's important to have both.
The concept of art for the public raises the question of who decides which pieces of art represent the U of A community.
Public art on campus comes about through the two main entities of the Public Art Committee and the UA Museum of Art. The Board of Regents has established a public art policy for the University of Arizona campus. Part of that is the setting aside of 0.5% for new constructions to go into a public art fund, and that public art fund can then be responsible for both new commissions and maintenance. And then it also establishes a public art committee that then oversees that fund and manages in a long-range planning way how public art on campus will look. The UA Museum of Art is a collecting museum, and so some of our larger pieces of sculpture, the museum has now placed outside.
Visitors can find all public art on campus by downloading a guide from the UA Museum of Art website or following a self-guided tour on the U of A app. Hancock leads a walking tour the third Wednesday of every month or by appointment.
The comment I hear most often is, wow, I had no idea U of A had so much artwork. They come to campus for plays, for music concerts, for community events, and everyone tends to walk past the art and just not really see it. Even though it's out there in their everyday lives, it's easy to kind of ignore. And so when we walk from sculpture to sculpture and talk about it, people are amazed that we have, over 40 pieces of art. They're so diverse, the artistic quality is so high, and everywhere they look, there's some kind of artwork.